Hello folks and welcome to another Let's Talk. Today we're going to be talking about Resident Evil. Now, as many of you may not know, Resident Evil hasn't been really much announced as of late, but there's rumor going around that Resident Evil might be getting a big announcement coming up. Now, what could this announcement be? Well, there's been a lot of rumors and speculation of what that announcement could be. And here today we're going to be talking about this. Now, we're going to be talking about 9 and potential remakes that are happening. So let's start with 9. What rumors have we heard about Resident Evil 9? Now, we've had no indication of a date yet, but I got a feeling we're probably going to get a trailer soon, but at the same time, not like coming out very quickly because there might be a reason for that. And the reason is because of, what's going on with the remakes, but we'll get to that in a bit. First off, 9. What are the rumors of 9? Well, for starters, we've heard rumors that it's going to be an open world game. Now, I'll be honest, it's not the first time Resident Evil has done open world events such as Outbreak back in the the 2000s, and we've also had in recent games like Resident Evil 8 where we had a little more of an open worldish theme, but was still a bit linear, but it was very open. So we could be getting that. Also, we've heard that the combat system might get a little tweaked, which it's part of the course. But the biggest one I've heard is that for several characters, this will be their last hurrah. Now, it kind of makes sense because, in the story time, they're getting on in age, and certain stories do need to be addressed. Now, which ones are going to get addressed, you may ask? Well, one is definitely going to be probably Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine, and maybe Rebecca Chambers and all them, the old OG group, because the reason for that is, in the case of Rebecca, we now know her fate. She's a biologist and dealing with the infections and outbreaks in a scientific lab. Barry is all but retired now after his stint in Revelations. So we might get Moira come back. We might get Shiva come back. So there are some people who could come back. We also got Jake and Sherry Birkin. They could be making an appearance. Now, as far as Jill goes, in the case of Jill, if you've not seen the latest animated movie of Resident Evil, which I think it's Dead Island, I think it is. I can't remember the name because it's been months since I've watched it. We saw Jill; she's recovered from what happened at 5, so we could see her back. I mean, also same with Claire Redfield. We could see a lot of characters, wrapping up. But Chris is an interesting case because of what happened in Resident Evil 8 after the Rose DLC, where, Chris is still alive, and it's probably, I think it's 18 years after the original story of Resident Evil 8. So, this story with 9, if this is going to be Chris's last hurrah, it's either he gets injured, or this happens way into the future after, the whole deal with Ethan and Rose. Whatever the case may be on that front, we'll have to wait and see. But it is rumored it's going to be more of an open world kind of game. So if it is the open world, I am for it. I just hope they stick it to just one person. It's just you versus them. But the reason I'm saying that 9 could be a bit further afield, it's pretty much because of what's going on with the remakes. Now, as many of you may not know, most of the remakes are getting retold. It's already happened with 2, it's happened with 3, and it's also happened recently with 4. Now, recently, a rumor came out that not only 1, but 2 remakes were looking like to get made. But not in the way people think. First off, let's start off with the more, not concrete, but the more noise-making one. And that is Resident Evil Code Veronica. Now, as many of you know, Veronica was the last tank control Resident Evil of its era, and it was also, many people say the more beloved one, but also a bit of a black sheep. So it was kind of like the in and out one. Now, the rumors going around about this is that one is likely to get the remake treatment along with the Sheena Island incident. The rumor mill is going on, they're going to combine the two as a big game where you have one half of the story, you're going to follow Claire's run, then you'll do the Sheena Island. Now, if that is true, I would be up for that. Now, you'll be thinking, what about 5 and 6? Well, 5, in my view, it's too soon. I would say wait a little longer for 5. But if you're going to do 5, I recommend doing the way that 2 and 4 have shown that you can have multiple story arcs, just like one, not like as a team. Because that's the thing about Resident Evil. That's why Resident Evil has gone well so far, because it's a horror element. Now, the other rumor I've been hearing as well about the game, and this one caught my attention. Remake of 1. That's right, you heard me. Remake of 1. This was rumored a while ago that they're thinking of remaking the first game again. Now, let's be clear. The Resident Evil remake was a remake of the first game on the GameCube, then it was ported to the other consoles with high graphics. Now, it is a great game, and it was well told. Now, the rumors going around is that might get the remake treatment first before Veronica. I would be up for it, but the rumor I've heard is similar to what I heard with Veronica. They might bring the Sheena Island incident with it as a combo package. The rumors going around that Zero could get the same treatment. Could be like part of Resident Evil 1 as a big, huge story arc where, we follow each character till we get to certain points. Now, in that case, I would be also up for that, but unfortunately, we don't know anything yet because we're still waiting on any word on it. But the way I've heard they might do this is saying, right, the first part of the story, you're going to follow Rebecca and Billy for the majority of Zero, and once Zero's done, then you get a choice of 4 characters again, which you would get. Rumored it was going to be Rebecca, Chris, Jill, and Barry, because there are some things that need to be answered, like how did Rebecca get to the mansion? What was Barry doing all this time? I mean, we all know Jill and Chris, what they were doing. We all knew it. But the other two, we didn't know how they got around, because let's be honest, how did they get around without, a zombie, getting a hold of them? Or the dogs, or anything. So, that's rumored. Now, keep in mind, guys, all this is a pinch of salt. Now, some rumors might be true, some might be BS. We don't know. But like I said about 9 is rumored to be open world, combat retweaked, but also it'll be like some of the characters' last hurrahs. And like I said, if that's the case, that's fine, because we are at the point now where some characters, although beloved, I think they've reached the end game. Like Chris Redfield, I feel he's reached his end, so is Jill. The only story I think we have not pretty much concluded has been the Ada and Leon saga. That hasn't been concluded yet. Now, some might say, well, what about Claire? Has her saga been concluded? Technically, yes, in the movies. Her saga was concluded in the movies, where we learned the whole thing about the Tri-Sale, like how they've been now dubbed as terrorists. Not the Tri-Sale, sorry. Her organization's been dubbed as terrorists, and she's trying to clear their name. But other than that, it's kind of the case where I think if it's going to be last hurrahs, I think it'll be like Chris and Jill's last run in the series, and they might start a new team. Because as you all know, we got Rose, who's got those weird power things. You've got Jake, the son of Wesker. You've also got Sherry Birkin, who's practically immortal, essentially. So there are things they could do, but the main one, I would say, the main story we all want to get concluded is the Ada and Leon story. And the reason I'm saying why 9 would go further is because, like I said, they're still doing the remakes where they're retelling the whole story. I mean, if you ever played Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4, you've noticed that they've changed the story a bit in certain places. Certain events didn't happen. Certain events were changed. So, at the moment, these are rumors at the moment, but there are rumors that we are going to get an announcement about Resident Evil sometime this year. That's what the rumor is. Whether or not we'll get it before the Tokyo Game Show, because as you all know, remember guys, there is no E3. Because now that most of the big companies have just gone, do their own thing in their own channels, I think it'll be probably the Tokyo Game Show or the European Game Show. We might get some word, or we might get some word in the next Capcom press release. Whatever that may be, we'll have to wait and see. But hey folks, what do you think? Are you looking forward to a new Resident Evil? Or are you looking forward to a remake? And if you are looking forward to a remake, which one do you want to see done? Do you want to see 1 done, 0, 5, Veronica, the Sheena Island incident? Or do you want to have a go for the new one, 9? What do you think? What do you want to see? Bye folks, that's it for this video. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe, ring the dinner bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Catch you later.